Hello, welcome to Copywriting with me, Sally. Today we're going to be talking about what to say and when. It actually does come with a template for you that we'll be working through, but also get your pen and paper out, which of course, whenever you come to a session with me, right, you know you've got to get a pen and paper ready because excellent, I can see that, fabulous. And we're going to be actually doing a few activities together around copywriting and just kind of looking at a few different strategies. So most of you don't actually have a copy problem. You have, what you want to say, and you might think about when you want to say it, but that's not the main problem, because what I actually see all the time is lots of people are actually showing up, you're posting, and you're trying to be consistent, right? But it's not turning into actual clients. And like the assumption is that if your posts aren't working, you think, well, maybe I just need to write better copy. But that's not actually the issue. You see, the issue is that you're saying things probably in the wrong order, right? You might be trying to sell too early, or you might be trying to teach way too much in a single post, or you're not actually thinking about how are you going to guide people to the next step. All right. So today, what we're going to do is we're going to fix that with a really simple framework. And you can actually use this framework every week when you're thinking about your content. Now, this could be via emails, social media posts, okay? And you're going to be making 3 pieces of content today. So by the end of this session, you'll actually understand the following, right? You'll have a very clear framework that we're going to teach you today. You'll also map out your own messaging, and you'll have at least 1 piece of content started. So this is not a passive session where you just get to sit there and listen. If you're starting this video and you don't think you can take action, right, then stop it and come back when you're actually going to do the doing. All right, because I love to GSD. So let's actually ground this in a little bit of reality. Most marketing I see looks like this: a few value posts, or maybe random personal posts, and then very occasionally sales posts. And there's no actual connection between the posts themselves. There's no actual journey. And there's no movement. So your audience is just like hovering there. So they're watching or they're liking, but they're not buying. And it can create a bit of frustration for you, right? Because you feel like you're doing the work, but why isn't it working? So here's what's missing. It's actually a structure. So what I want you to do is no more just posting random content. Now, you know that I get you to do some evergreen content, but this particular content is actually about a journey, okay, that you will put somebody through each week with a specific idea in mind. All right, so you don't need more content, you don't need better words, just a structure for what to say and when. So today is a 3-part framework. So pick up your pen now. And part 1 is attention. So this is where we're trying to get the right people to stop the scroll, okay? The second part is trust. So this is where you're now building the belief around the thing that you're helping people with. And then the third part is the conversion. And this is where you're actually guiding them to the sale. That's it. Okay, so here's some really quick instructions. So open up your notes because we're going to build this together for your business as we go. All right, so let's start with first a very quick reality check. Okay, what I want you to do is I want you to think about or go and check out your last 6 posts. Go and have a look at them now. I'm going to give you 5 minutes to go and have a look at them. And I want you to ask yourself or write down the following. Were these posts to attract attention? Were they to build trust? Or were they to convert? All right, were they conversion driven? Now, I want you to be really honest. I haven't set up my GSD scene. I think you only need about 3 minutes. So I'm going to just bring it up on my phone. Actually, I will put it on my phone, but I'll build the GSD scene while you're doing it. I'm going to give you 3 minutes. Go and have a look at those posts and then write down, were they attention posts? Were they trust posts or conversion posts? All right, let's see if I can build this scene in 3 minutes. All right, starting the timer now. All right. So you've gone and viewed your posts. Now, turn my little timer off. Now, this is usually what happens. You're really heavy in one category, right? And most commonly, it's the trust one, where you're giving value, you're giving tips, and you're giving education, right? Or you're swinging between random things like value and maybe selling, but I bet you there's probably not a lot of conversion type posts, right? It's all about here's some great value, here's some tips, here's some more tips, right? So, what will actually happen is if you just keep staying in that trust and giving lots of great tips, people will love you, but they don't buy. And if you jump too early to the conversion, people will just ignore you. And this is where most people really get stuck, right? So you need to be thinking like, well, a lot of people start thinking, I need better hooks or I need better captions. But really, give a sequence of events, okay? So post, but make one post, then they're waiting for the next post to see what comes next, and then waiting for the next post. All right, so let me frame this properly for you, okay? So copy is not, what should I post today? Your copy should be, where is my audience right now? What do they actually need next? Because your audience is not all in the same place. Now, some people, right, just found you, and some people are watching you very quietly in the background, as I say, stalking, not talking. And some people are ready, but they just need a little nudge to buy. So if you say the same thing to all of them, you lose them. So instead of guessing, we're going to use a very simple progression using attention, trust, conversion. And now we're going to build each part together. All right, so let's start at attention, because if this part is weak, nothing else matters. Attention is not about really being clever. It's about being relevant. This is where you will call out a specific problem, then you reflect what they're already thinking. So what are the things that they think? If you've done the message mining, you will know what they think, because you'll be able to pull those words from your message mining training. Now, if you haven't got the message mining training, please reach out to us at support@omnisam.com.au and we'll organise how to give you access to that. All right, so reflect back on what they're already thinking, and you want to interrupt them as they're scrolling on past. So a really bad example of the hook could be like 3 tips for better marketing. Well, that just sounds like every other post out there, right? It's vague and it sounds really just like everybody else. A better example would be why your content isn't turning into clients, even if you're consistent. Right now, we've got a specific pain point. We've also got a bit of curiosity in there, like why? Why is it not working? And then relevant, because it's what they're thinking. Like, I'm posting all the time, but nothing seems to be working. So here's the key shift here. You're not trying to reach everybody, right? You're trying to reach the right person and make them stop the scroll. All right, so now it's your turn. I want you to write 2 attention hooks, and I'm actually going to give you the starting sentence of that. So the first one is, if you're struggling with ... What are you going to insert there? So write that one down, if you're struggling with. And the second one is, this is why your ... insert the problem isn't working ... Okay, this is why your ... insert problem isn't working. And I'll give you one more. No one tells you this, but... right, so we've got curiosity in there. We're trying to get them to stop to, why? Why more? Right, not just 3 quick tips. Okay, so now you've got that. I'm going to give you 3 minutes again, and I want you to not overthink it, okay? Just write. And you can have 2, or if you want to do all 3, excellent, but you've got to do at least 2. All right, so I'll give you 3 minutes on the clock to come up with that.
I gotta tell you something I could do. I could be running around chasing you, but I won't. Cause I got better things to do. Rather spend my precious time chasing somebody who loves me too. If I got $1 for every time you slam the door, I would be the richest girl alive. life. If you hadn't run away, every time I asked you stay, you would sleep right next to me tonight. No, you didn't want me, all you wanted was a game to play, and you couldn't handle that I had my ways. Around your mind tricks and your side chicks, I'm a winner, babe. No, you didn't win this, it's a part of the game. In the beginning, I just didn't know that you're an enemy I held too close. Now I know, 'cause you did everything to prove me wrong. You were not the guy I thought. Now I'm beating you at your own. Yeah. If I got $1 for every time you slammed the door, I would be the richest girl alive. No, you didn't want me, all you wanted was a game to play, and you couldn't handle that I had my ways. Around your mind tricks and your side chicks, I'm a winner, babe. No, you didn't win this, it's a part of the game. Yeah, I beat you at your game, and if you were me, you would do the same. Man, I really love to play, and now that I won, then it's safe to say, no, you didn't want me, all you wanted was a game to play, and you couldn't handle that I had my ways. Around your mind tricks and your side chicks, I'm a winner, babe. No, you didn't win this, it's a part of the game. No, you didn't want me, all you wanted was a game to play, and you couldn't handle that I had my ways. Around your mind tricks and your side chicks, I'm a winner, babe.
Okay, so did you get your 3 written down? Head nods, yes. Did you write your 3? Yes. 1. Do you need longer? You want another couple of minutes? A little bit longer? Yeah, I want to make sure you get the done. Yep. Let's do it. I'll go back and give you another couple. Okay, so we are now going to move on to the second part, trust. Now, This is where they read and they're interested. Okay, so but yeah, we're still not going to ask them to buy, right? This is where what you're going to do is build trust by teaching them something, right? And this is where most people either start to overcomplicate it or they underdeliver, right? Now, trust is built when people are actually thinking, oh, this person gets me, or they think, oh, that makes real sense, or they feel like they trust your process, right? So, what you should actually say is you should break things down simply for them, okay? Show them how you think and then explain why something also works better, right? Why that thing you do and help people with works better. So, this is where your authority actually lives as the expert. But here's the thing, I don't want you to use really fancy words. I call them real flowery. Like I've got to get out a dictionary or a thesaurus to figure out what the hell it means, right? And you don't want to write like a huge long post around it. And you want to keep it really clear for them, all right? So this is one of your hooks that you can use, okay? And you can then go and expand. I'm going to give you 3 different options. So you'll start with what's actually going wrong, right? So answer this question yourself, okay? What's actually going wrong? Or why does this thing actually happen? And then how would your approach be different? So this becomes your trust content. So just to restate, you need to answer the following questions. What's actually going wrong? Why does it happen? And how you approach it differently. Okay. Now, if you skip this actual stage, people will watch you, but they won't move on. They won't trust you. All right. So, this one now, I'm going to give you a little exercise. We'll do 5 minutes. Now, pick one of the things that you wrote, like your favorite, and then I want you to say what's going on, why it happens, and how you would approach it differently. All right, we'll go back to that 5-minute countdown and we'll give you 5 minutes of GSD. If you need longer at the end, just let me Alrighty then. Let's turn this one down. Okay. So, how'd you go? You got that one sorted, or do you need a bit more time? You good? Awesome. All right. So, the next post is about the conversion. So, this is the part that most people avoid, right? Because it's the selling part. But hey, you have to make money to pay your bills. So, your first post got their attention. Your second post built trust. And now you need to tell people what to do next. And this is where people, they get a little vague. They'll say something like, reach out if you're interested, or let me know if you want more information. This creates friction, right? Your conversion should be clear, confident, and give them direction. So write that down. Your conversion must be clear, confident, and give them direction. You're not forcing them, you're guiding them to that next step. So here's some examples for you to write down. If you want help building or doing this inside your business or your life, here's how I can support you. Or you could say, this is for you if. We do a lot of that on your sales pages. A lot of this is for you if, and this is not for you if. But the call to action here is, this is for you if. And then you could also use the next step is. Very easy. Okay? So this little exercise, I want you to write a really simple conversion message. Something along the lines of, if you want help with this, here is what to do next. All right? You keep it simple, clear, and it's better than trying to be clever. All right? Now, if you skip this part, your business, right, it won't make any money. You don't actually have a business if you don't ask for the sale. All you have is content creation. All right. So you will finish that off in your own time with the steps you want them to take. Could be comment below, right? Comment below the word, or click this link and send them to your funnel. Be very direct. Okay. So let's clean this up a little bit. If I was looking at all of your marketing right now, I'd probably tell most of you to stop posting without purpose and to stop writing based on the mood that you're in today, and also to stop avoiding selling because it feels uncomfortable. And I'd also say that you don't need to say everything at once. And also you don't need to be really, really impressive with what it is that you're writing, right? So just don't try to make more. Try to simplify what it is and think about the journey that you want to take people through. You want to match your message to the stage that the person is actually in, the things that are taking up space in their brain of why they're stuck with the thing that you help them with. That's the biggest shift that you can make, right? Is really tying that message to what they're thinking, the stage that they're currently at. All right, so now we're going to bring all this together and we're going to actually map out your 3 things. All right. So what I need you to do first is I want you to pick one offer. So what is the offer going to be at the end? Is it going to be to book a call? Is it going to be to go and get that free lead magnet that you are going to give away? All right, so what is the one offer? And I want you to think of one problem that your audience has. Now, that one problem, that offer needs to feel like once you've done these 3 pieces of content, that your offer feels like the next logical step. Now, this is how we're going to map it out. You're going to create one piece of content for the attention post. Then you're going to create another post for the trust post. And then you're going to create another one for the conversion post. So the goal of the attention post is to make the right person stop, right? So for example, why is your content not turning into clients even when you're consistent? All right, so that pulls them in. The trust post, right, that one is to make them think, oh, that makes sense. And you're going to break it down. So an example for that content one, we could explain why consistency isn't enough. We could explain what actually is missing, which is structure or a sequence, and then give my perspective on it. Right? So how have I used it? What are the results I've seen? What have I experienced? All right. So that's the why, then the what, and then your perspective. Now, your conversion post, the goal here is literally just to tell them what to do next. So taking it back to that example, I would say if you want help fixing your messaging so it actually converts, here's how I can help you. Click the link to book a call. Or click the link to download my copywriting XYZ, right? This then moves them forward. Now, this is the content that you're going to use this week, okay? And what I want you to do is if you're watching this or you're here live or you're watching this on the replay, when you're done with this session, I want you to go and post the content that you created into the GSD group. All right, say that you came to the copywriting session with me or you're watching the replay of the copywriting session and these are the 3 pieces of content that you've come up with, all right, for the attention, the trust, and the conversion, right? You don't need more. You just need them to align, all right? So I want you to focus on getting those 3 together. Now, remember, you don't need more ideas, more templates, more content. You just need structure because structure creates clarity. Now, you will actually find that I've just dropped in the chat for those who are here live, a document. Make yourself a copy of that document and it is actually a template for you to use. Let me find, I think I've got it set up here. Nope, because I decided that I would share some music here. All right, so this is the document. It's going to help you to create these posts. So step 1, what's one problem your audience is currently struggling with? Your attention post, I've given you some hook ideas here. And then the body post here. But it's not leading you to, and it's frustrating you because, and insert, and now you've got that first post. This isn't about, it's actually about, and then this is what keeps them coming back. If this feels familiar, keep reading, watching, keep an eye on your inbox. I'm going to break it down in the next post, right? So you've laid out the problem, whether it's the next email, the next post, the next whatever. Okay? Now, these don't need to be delivered on the same day either. You could do them a day or so apart as well. But make people realize that this is post 1 of 3. Okay, so then in this, we've got the trust post. So, of course, we're going to build belief and show the way in which you think. So, most people think this, but what is actually happening is this. Right? And then you'll break it down. Right now, you're insert where they are right now. So what's the things that's spinning around in their brain, which leads to, and then reframe it. This real issue isn't insert the thing that they think it is actually insert the thing that you know that it is. Right? And then you can teach 1, 2, 3 little steps. What actually works is, and I could just say, if I was talking about this lesson, I would say, what actually works is creating a post for attention, right? Trust, and then conversion. And then close, this is the difference between point A, point B. And then you'll move to the conversion post. So you'll lead with a hook. If you're struggling with insert the problem, this is what to fix. And then if you're, give them some examples of how they feel. This is not a what? It's not a mindset problem. It's not a belief problem. It's not a conversion problem, a copywriting problem. It's a structure problem. And then you need to shift them to, you don't need to do this, you need to do that. And then you position your offer. This is exactly what I help people to do with insert the thing. And then if you're ready to take the next step, tell them exactly what to do. Click on the button to book the call. Comment the word demo below. Be very specific about what you put in it. Don't make them have to think about it. Right? So this is your step. You're going to map this out, and I want to see these posts go up this week. All right? If you're at the end of the week watching this, next week. Right? I don't need you working on the weekend. But you're going to do your one attention post, your one trust post, and your one conversion post. All right? Using and solving the one problem. All right. So each post has one job. Don't try to say everything, because your program, your method could be 5 or 7. Like, we have a 7-step method that we teach inside with the Freedom Funnel formula. And we've got a 7-step process that we have for the customer life cycle. We don't want to teach all of the framework. One tiny little problem. Okay? And the reason why it works is, right, it removes what to say, gives you structure, and the content is actually a journey that you're taking people on. So I'll give you an example. I've written a couple of examples here so that you can kind of hear what they sound like. Let's see if I can do it with this one here, if we go through here at the same time. All right, so the attention post. Something like, why your content isn't turning into clients even if you're showing up consistently. Then for the body, you're posting, you're trying to be consistent, you're sharing value, but it's not leading to inquiries. And it's frustrating because it feels like you're doing everything right. Right now we do the shift for the truth. Consistency doesn't create clients. The right message at the right time does. Most content isn't converting because it's missing structure. Most content isn't converting because it's missing structure, not effort. And then I would close with something like, if it feels familiar, keep reading or keep watching your inbox, because the answers will come tomorrow. All right? So you're getting intrigue for them to come back. Now, continuing with this example, in the trust post, right, the hook could be, consistency isn't your problem, your messaging sequence is. Right? Then most people think, if I just post more, it will eventually work. Right? That's where they are now. But here's what's actually happening. You're either posting value without direction or jumping straight to selling. And your audience is stuck in the middle. They're interested but not ready because no one has guided them there. Then we move into, that was that section there, the teaching part. So that's when I would move into where I say, what you need is 3 stages. Attention, is this for me? Trust, this makes sense. Conversion, I want help. If you're skipping one, you're breaking the journey. Then moving into the close, this is different between content that gets likes and content that gets clients. All right, then moving on down to the conversion post. If your content isn't converting, here's the fix. And then we move into the body. If you're stuck, posting consistently, not getting inquiries, unsure of what to say next, it's not a motivation problem, it's a structure problem. Then you don't need more content, right? You need the right message, the right message at the right stage with a clear path to action. And then we position the offer. This is exactly what we help people to build: what to say to get attention, what to say to build trust, what to say to convert without feeling pushy. Then we move into the CTA. If you want help fixing this and you want to improve your messaging that actually turn leads into clients, then book a demo below. Click the link. Okay, and I've written one more example as well for you, just so that you can really start to hear this. Let's come back up here. So, got to make sure it's on the screen. So this one is for somebody who works with emotional eating, right? So the hook is, if you lack willpower, why do you keep going back to food? Right? Why? Then the body is, you tell yourself today will be different. You eat well all day. You feel in control and something happens, right? Stress, overwhelm, a long day, and suddenly you're back in the kitchen, eating when you're not even hungry. And then comes the guilt, the frustration, and what's wrong with me thoughts. But here's the truth. This isn't about discipline, and it is not because you're broken. If this is you, you're not alone, and there's a reason this is happening. Watch your inbox for the answers tomorrow. Right? If this sounds familiar, keep an eye on the feed for tomorrow's answers. So we're not solving anything. Now, let's move into the trust section for this. Emotional eating isn't the problem. It's the coping strategy. Most people try to fix emotional eating by cutting foods, being stricter, or starting again on Monday. Right? But that's why it keeps repeating, because emotional eating isn't about food. It's about how you handle stress, how you process emotions, and what you've learned to use for comfort. So when you remove the food, you haven't removed the need. So when you remove the food, I think I said that. So when you remove the food, you haven't removed the need. And this is why you can be good all day and still lose control later, because the trigger was never addressed. Then we start to reframe it. You don't need more control. You need a different way to respond when those moments hit. Right? And then we close it on out. And that's what works. And that's the work most people skip and why they get stuck. Right? So then we move into the conversion post. So this one is, if you're stuck in emotional eating cycle, this is where to start. If you're tired of, let's move down so you can see the words. Make sure I've got them on the screen. If you're tired of starting over, feeling out of control, thinking this is the time that it'll be different, I want you to know this. You don't need another plan. You need a different approach. I should have scrolled here for you. You don't need another plan. You need a different approach. One that helps you, and 3 dot points. Understand your triggers, respond differently in the moment, build trust in yourself again. This is exactly why I help clients do. This is exactly what I help clients do. Not through restriction, not through willpower, but through a simple, practical shift that actually lasts. If you're ready to break the cycle, click the link below and book a call. Okay? So the reason why these work is post 1, attention, right? So they're stopping the scroll. They're like, oh, that's me. Second post, trust. Oh, geez, that makes sense. And the third post, oh, I need help with this. All right? So you're not actually trying to convince people to buy. You're actually walking them through, helping them to realize what's going on. The next step is for them. So we're not being pushy, like you've got to book the call. We're just guiding them gently. All right. So we've got a few minutes left. So open up that workbook and start working on that now. And I would love to see you post your 3 posts, or you can just put them in like a single post with your 3 descriptions in the comments so that you don't have to put 3 separate posts. Maybe say, attended Sally's copywriting session, my attention, my come on, Sally, my brain just died. My attention post, and then my trust post, and that
Trust.
thank you, Sharon. Trust post and conversion post, and just put them as 3 comments underneath. And I'm really excited. I'll have a read through them and even give you feedback. Make sure you tag me in those posts as well, no matter when you're watching or doing this video. All right, you've got the workbook. Go take action, and I look forward to it. All right, we will end the recording here. Thank you, everyone, for joining me today, and we can do a little bit of Q&A as well. All right, Sharon, did you have any questions, or what did you like best?
I thought that was great. It's thinking outside the box, because you just think, what do I post all the time? And I get slack because I don't know what to post half the time.
Well, plan ahead.
So, and I've got a group that's got 2 foodie businesses in it together. Right. So that's
that can be confusing
kind of a bit
for the
different.
Audience. Yeah.
But I want to start building the Facebook page so I can start going live and stuff on it, because I'm not at 100 yet. So
okay. Yeah. Ash has got some good tips on how to get you to the 100. It's not something.
Yeah, I've got a meeting with her in a minute.
Yeah.
So
we'll ask her about that. It's you got to do it slowly. It might take you a week or 2 to get there, and you don't do it forever. But it is one way to just get you to that 100, because we needed to do it when Ash started on her account, and she smashed it, and she's done it with a couple of the studio clients as well. So yeah.
And another question is, how many times should we post per day on our Facebook pages?
It depends on the platform. So for me, I do 3 posts a day on Facebook and Instagram, just because the time that they show up is like you don't get a lot of airtime really. But I know LinkedIn is a lot less. It's like only 1 post a week, or like 3 posts a week or something like that. It's not as heavy. Honestly, if you ask the GPT, it will give you the exact numbers, but each platform is different because it depends on the audience and the amount of time that the posts are visible. Like I know on Instagram, like it's only in the first half an hour to an hour or something like that the posts actually get seen, unless they kind of go viral and end up on that main wall. I'm not for me, Facebook's always been my thing. So for me, 3 posts a day. And then that's usually like if you've done the Canva challenge where we, build out your evergreen posts. But what we went through today, this could just be a 3-part email series, right? Where you send the first email, then the second email, and then the third email
No,
has
that's a
the
good
ask.
idea.
Yeah.
Because I'm starting like my freebie starts in a couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Um my free course, well, one
Yeah,
one
the
night
free
course,
training. Yeah,
and then I've got the free cooking class the
mm-hmm.
following week.
Yep.
So that's going to go live today. So
Yeah,
um
awesome. Oh, that's awesome. That's so exciting.
and yeah, and then I'm seeing John in the morning too.
Yeah,
So
awesome.
yeah,
Yeah,
and then I've
fabulous.
got a call with John tomorrow as well. So
Oh, fabulous.
um
Oh, excellent. Look, well, you're getting
yeah,
underway, right? Both you and Emma started together. I've started seeing Emma's, posts showing up inside the Facebook group because she's starting to get that
yes,
traction. You're just a tiny little step behind her, right?
yeah,
And you're both scholarships. So, look, it just gave me goosebumps
yes.
even to say the word because seeing you guys turn up and do the thing, like we don't see Emma in here much because she's so busy with the
No,
kids,
because of her
but
kids.
she's
Yep,
always taken action in the background, which is
yep,
fabulous. And you're here all the time, which is great. Next thing is
yep.
you can't sell a secret, baby. And I'm so glad to hear that your lead magnet
That's
is ready
right.
to get going. So,
It is. The
yay!
funnel is done and dusted. Me and my chat GPT did the final things to it
Oh,
yesterday for
so
GSD. So
exciting.
yeah,
So exciting.
I know.
Awesome. All right. Well, let's wrap
And
up.
I love how it looks.
Oh,
Like it's yeah,
so good. So good.
yeah.
I can't wait to
I
start seeing
know.
some of your sexy numbers coming in. It's going to be great.
Yes,
Yeah. All
can't
right.
wait.
Well, we're
All
hitting
right.
the.
Well, I've got a meeting with Ash now,
All
so
right. We'll
I
see you
will.
later. Okay. Bye.
Thanks,
No
Sally.
worries.
Bye.
All right. Well, we're wrapping up, guys. We're hitting right on the top of the hour within the next 30 seconds. So I'm going to shut this one down. Everybody, thank you for tuning in. Make sure you get that GSD done. Otherwise, you've just sat here for an hour. And then what? Right? And then what? Go do the doing. Never let anyone dull your sparkle. And I'll see you in around the tracks. Bye for now.